Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. We got a great show for you guys, man. I hope you guys had a great day today. We got some new news on the D4VD trial. Now, just to get you guys up to speed, on D4VD, apparently David has gone to his status hearing a few days ago, and it looks like they pushed back his preliminary hearing into July of 2026. Nothing really came out of the status hearing, except for the fact that the prosecution said that they're good with the extended or pushing back that that preliminary hearing, so long as they're able to get their witness scheduled to align with that new date so that they could testify. And we started asking ourselves, who is this mystery witness? We still don't know who this mystery witness is. But it comes out that Aisha's talking again. So is Aisha that witness? I don't think so. I think that most likely that is an expert witness that's going to testify. Probably a coroner or a detective or somebody like that. But Aisha's speaking again, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to tell you, we have had a lot of things to say about Aisha. Aisha, are you watching the show? Aisha, if you're watching the show right now, put a thumbs up in the chat so we know that you're watching the show so we can say hi. We've cracked jokes on Aisha. We've called her a gazelle, sprinting in the African plains while the lion of justice stalks her. But in all honesty, guys, there's no evidence that Aisha had anything to do with this tragedy. In fact, the more that we see this case, it seems like David most likely did this himself. But I do believe that somebody may have known about what he did. Somebody may have helped him with the cleanup, possibly. But it looks like what happened that night was between David and Celeste. David and Celeste, ladies and gentlemen. So what we want to do is we're going to go in here real quick and we're going to tell you what Aisha Collins had to say about D4VD. Now, I can't lie to you. I'm so accustomed to hear my voice inside of my headphones, which I hear silence right now. It's really throwing me off. It's like annoying to like the third degree. So we're going to see if we can fix this. But if not, alas, there we go. We're back now. All right. That sounds much better. All right. So this is Aisha behind me right here. Aisha, why are you behind? Oh my, Aisha's behind me. Anyway, this is Aisha. She is like a model and like a video vixen. That's like I'm showing my age because like video vixens, like when I was young, you know, she's a video vixen without any of the negative connotations. I'm not saying she's that type of video vixen. At least I don't know. But she's pretty girl. And she was a part of David's inner circle. And these are some of her, this is her Instagram page, her modeling pictures and stuff like that. All right. Now, you know you got to be a pedophile, a.k.a. David, if you're surrounded by beautiful, listen, I'm not a fan of Aisha. I'm not a fan of really anybody who's a part of that inner circle. But just because I'm not a fan of you does not mean I can't acknowledge that you're an attractive person. David was sitting around a ton of attractive girls. The other Celeste Herrera, very attractive girl. I think she's like Filipino and Latino, something like that. You know, he's around attractive girls who are adults, but yet he chooses to groom and to take advantage of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who we all know he started grooming at age 11. There's no excuse. Somebody says she's mad. Stop hating. She ain't no mad. She pretty. Whatever. She's probably dark in the soul, but she's pretty. No, I'm just joking. To each his own. You know, we all have our own standards, whatever. But he's surrounded. My larger point is he's surrounded by all of these decent looking girls. Whatever your definition of beautiful is, it's whatever. It's up in the air. He's surrounded by grown women that he could date, that he could get to know better. He chooses Celeste Rivas Hernandez. He chooses to steal her innocence. Well, anyway, back to why we're here. All right. David, dubbed a psychopath by former friend who says singer betrayed his circle. David is back in the news as former friend of his, Aisha Collins, has taken to social media to share her thoughts on the currently incarcerated singer. On Thursday, June 18th, the California-based model and influencer took to Instagram to share a screenshot of a conversation she was having with a friend about her allegedly cosplaying Celeste Rivas, the woman David is accused of murdering. Now, I didn't click this link. Let me see something here. What happens when I click that link? Okay, that goes to an old article. Okay. All right. After the friend showed Collins a screenshot of a comment where someone was asking about the accusation, she responded and apologized to her friend for seemingly facing harassment because of it. Okay. This is the conversation that she had. Over here it says, like by Nadia Mulem and others, Aisha Collins. It says redacted. She cosplays and mocked a dead missing little girl. You're weird. I don't know about that whole cosplay thing. I didn't see that. Was there an instance? We do have people who are following this very, very closely. Was there an instance where Aisha Collins dressed up like Celeste? I don't really remember that. But whatever. Let's keep going. Then Sydney says stunning, and Aisha Collins responds thank you, and Miami says T at Miami, and Collins with a funny face. So here she said, I appreciate if everyone used their brains for 1 second when they talk about the Celeste Rivas case. This isn't something light to just spew bullcrap out of your mouths. I've been quiet about to say I cosplay as a child just because we are the same skin tone and have curls in insane work. Have some respect. I've been said we aren't friends anymore. That psychopath lied and betrayed everyone around him. So that's Aisha's response to people saying that she's cosplaying or was dressing up like Celeste. And not only does she respond to it, but she also says that David is a psychopath who fooled, or rather lied, to everyone around him. Interesting. She said, hey, babe, who are they saying you cosplayed? Obviously, they're dumb, but just wondering. Then it looks like Aisha responds, they're saying I cosplayed as Celeste Rivas. I just have curly hair and used to be friends with David. Sorry for the harassment towards you. So I guess this friend posted the picture. People start saying that she's cosplaying Celeste. You know, I didn't see the picture, so I can't comment on it. But, you know, just because she wears her hair curly doesn't mean that she's cosplaying Celeste. You know, at the end of the day, I'm an adult, so I'm not going to overreact on everything that comes out. You know, I'm looking at this case from an adult's eyes, but whatever. And then so she felt she needed to defend herself, and she's calling David a psychopath. Let's keep going. She said, I appreciate if everyone used their brain cells. We already read that. She's not cosplaying just because she has curls. Then she says, I've been said we aren't friends anymore. Collins continued, referring to David. That psychopath lied and betrayed everyone around him. This isn't the first time Collins has been in the news in relation to David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Earlier this year, a Reddit account that claimed to be hers posted that she was no longer friends with David and was respecting the investigation as well as Celeste Rivas. The account also described receiving violent threats and having personal information and workplace shared without consent. You know, listen, I don't agree with any of that stuff. I tell you guys, I'm very consistent with this. Don't harass people in the real world. You got whatever opinion you want on the internet, but don't start messing with people's money, messing with their lifestyle, messing with their family, messing with their friends, especially if there's no evidence that they did anything wrong. All right. We talk about David. We don't support him. We don't support him professionally. He's in jail right now waiting for his trial. A dead girl was found in his trunk. The prosecutors say that they have more than enough evidence to prove that he was a person who took Celeste's life. We could talk about him. All these ancillary people who are surrounding him, there's no evidence so far that they did anything wrong. We could talk about the fact that they may have known that he was dealing with Celeste and did nothing wrong with it and did nothing with that information. Okay, we could talk about that. We could not like their style based off how they perceive themselves or how they show themselves to the world or in their social media posts. We can have comments about that. They're public people. They're putting themselves out there. But to go into the real world and start messing with their money, stalking, harassing, I don't agree with that. And I really do believe that we should have tougher penalties for that where people can face criminal charges when they're sending people or they're out there doxing, harassing individuals in the real world. That's my personal belief. But anyway, let's keep going. This isn't the first time Collins has been in the news in relation to David and the Celeste Rivas case. Earlier this year, a Reddit account that claimed to be hers posted that she was no longer friends with David and was respecting the investigation as well as Celeste Rivas. Why do people call her Celeste Rivas? Her name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. It's widely known that some Latinos have two last names, and Celeste was one of them. And I think it's just respectful to call her Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And I purposely roll those R's because I want to show respect to her culture and to her. So, this Celeste Rivas, that's not her name. Her name is Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Anyway, let's keep going. The account also described receiving violent threats and having personal information and workplace shared without her consent. David, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, was arrested by LAPD on April 16th on suspicion of murder and held without bail. Prosecutors allege he killed Rivas to protect his music career, with special circumstances of lying in wait and financial gain. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's decomposed body was discovered on September 8th, 2025 in the front trunk of a impounded Tesla registered to D4VD. The LA County medical examiner identified her 1 week later. Collins is among several people from David's inner circle who have distanced themselves from the singer since Rivas Hernandez was found. Notable friends, including Neil Langston, have similarly cut ties. On the industry side, Kali Uchis, who's that, pulled a collaboration, as did Laufey. I don't know none of these people. Interscope, Darkroom ended its relationship with Burke, and platforms including YouTube, Fortnite, EA Sports, and Riot Games each removed his content or account access. D4VD's preliminary hearing, postponed for the third time, is now scheduled for July 21st. And as I told you guys in the onset of this live, that is tentative pending the district attorney of Los Angeles, syncing this court date with their witnesses' schedule. So if there's witnesses not available, they will ask for a continuance for another date. So here's TMZ's take on it. Psychopath lied and betrayed us, and I'm not cosplaying Celeste. This is Aisha Collins, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and David with his customary star in the middle of his forehead. I wonder what that means. What symbolism does that mean for David? All right, my daughter just let me know I don't have to pick her up. Okay, let me respond back there. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to leave her on red. Okay, baby. Love you. All right, let's keep going. D4VD's former friend Aisha Collins is slamming the alleged killer and firing back at folks online who claim she's cosplaying and mocking Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Aisha, who ran in the same group as the singer and the slain teenager, shared a screenshot of a DM she received where a friend is asking her about a comment on a since deleted Aisha Instagram post. The comment says she's cosplaying and mocked a dead missing little girl. You're weird. She told her friend people think she's cosplaying Celeste Rivas Hernandez because she has curly hair and used to hang with David, and then she went off on David and the person who left the comment. Aisha says folks need to use their brains when talking about Celeste case because it's not something to spew bullcrap about. She says she hasn't wanted to respond to the cosplay allegations, but she's doing so now because to say I cosplayed as a child just because we are the same skin tone and have curls is insane work. Aisha then clarifies she and David are no longer friends, calling him a psychopath who lied and betrayed everyone around him. As you know, David was arrested back in April, months after Celeste's mutilated body was found in the trunk of his Tesla in Hollywood Hills. David since has been charged with 1 count of each of murder, continuous sex abuse of a child under the age of 14, and unlawful mutilation of human remains. This one right here is nasty work. Nasty work. Anyway, let's keep going. Several notable friends of the singer, including Neil Langston, have distanced themselves from the singer in the month since Celeste was found. That's TMZ's take on it. And this is Aisha's YouTube page, which she doesn't really have much content on it, to be honest with you. And that's her Instagram, as we checked it out before. All this stuff is public. We're not doxing her. We're not looking at private pictures. These are the pictures she put online. She's a model. She's going to show her body. That's how she makes her money. That's how models get gigs. You know, it is what it is. And over here, that's it. That's all I got for you guys, man. Interesting stuff here. I am happy to see the fact that people starting to distance themselves from David, because remember when this case first came out, these folks were remaining silent. And there's still no indication that these folks are cooperating with law enforcement. There's no indication of, there's no proof. We know that Neil Lanston refused to go and testify before the grand jury to the point where he fled the state and had to be hauled back from his mother's house in Minnesota, I think it was, or someplace like that, some Midwest, like middle of nowhere state. I see the line. I got you. I'm going to check it out. And forced to come back to California, booked, given a bail, and then forced to go before the grand jury. That's the level of cooperation we've seen so far from these folks who are part of, or were at least a part of, David's inner circle. All we want is cooperation. All we want is justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Let me go to the line real quick. Research crew just sent me something. Let's see what we got. All right, which one's this for? Hold on here. So this is allegedly some of what David or history was. Just turn off the sounds, photos, and no one's talking. All right, so we're gonna turn off the sound. So like this is like what his search history. Do me a favor. Please elaborate. Can't understand how you wrote that. Please tell me what I'm looking at real quick, because you wrote really fast. So it's missing some key information. What are we looking at right here before we play it? Just to the research crew. All right. So it looks like we're going to be playing something real quick. All right. So it's David's YouTube search history right here. All right. So this is David's YouTube search history. Yeah. All right, so let's do it. Birth control, how long, birth control method. How do you erase factory reset your Mac? How to delete Instagram chat. 9 games with awesome dismemberment. Oh boy. 8 new brutal and gory indie. Oh man, this is going too fast. This is crazy. Hold on here. You can look past the stream. Making a song. Elisa. The unsettling psychology of COVID. No. This person, whoever did this, hold on. Oh, okay. I can control it here. Okay. This is David's YouTube watch history. All right, now we got it. This is his YouTube watch history. And now I see I can control it. We can actually slow this down now. This is crazy. All right. This is David's YouTube watch history. Wow. Okay, here we go. How to say period in Spanish. Remember, he's dealing with a Spanish girl. How to log birth control method on flow period tracker. So when you say period, we're not talking about full stop punctuation period. We're talking about menstruation period. Remember, it is our belief, and it looks like the facts bear it out, that Celeste was dealing with pregnancy scares. So, of course, it looks like she may have gotten an abortion at some point. That's what the facts looks like it's starting to bear out, that she got an abortion at some point. So it makes sense that he's now searching how they could track her period so that she doesn't keep getting these pregnancy scares. So how to say period in Spanish. Then he says how to log birth control method on flow period tracker. Oh boy. Remember, this is a minor he's doing this stuff with. Let's keep going. And guys, do me a favor. I haven't asked this entire show. Please hit that like button, support the channel. Once again, hit the like button, support the channel so we could get into the algorithm so the show could be shown to a wider audience. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. United Airlines unaccompanied minor policy. Remember, he was flying her to different places. He even flew her to London. He flew her out of the country, ladies and gentlemen. She's a minor. I hope this stuff is played in court, ladies and gentlemen, because this is serious evidence. This is serious evidence that shows his mindset. He knows she's a minor. He knows she's underage. He's doing research on how to transport this minor from point A to point B. What does that sound to me, ladies and gentlemen? It sounds like a federal case to me. Sounds like trafficking. Sounds like trafficking, ladies and gentlemen. He's bringing this minor from one state to another state. This shows his intent. Let's keep going. This is nuts. Good one, research crew. Good one. Whew.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord. I'm in the court right now. I should put the wig on. Let's put the wig on. We in court right now. We making the case against David. We in court right now, man. This is crazy. We putting the wig on. We in court. David, you going down. We got the wig on. We in court. Okay. Let's go to the next one. His search history is going to send him to jail for the rest of his life. How to erase and factory reset your Mac in 2026. How to erase and reset a Mac back to factory default. Let's keep going. That's destroying evidence right there. How to delete Instagram chat from both sides. 2024. Destroying evidence, ladies and gentlemen. Covering up the fact that he's communicating with this minor via Instagram. Let's keep going. 9 games with awesome dismemberment. I believe this says. Dismemberment. Remember, he is addicted to gore. Remember, he is a big fan of Psycho Detective, the Detective Psycho. Remember that. He likes gore. He likes dismemberment. He likes serial killers. Let's keep going. We proved that out in that video. Go check out the playlist if you don't know. If you don't know, find out. We covered that. We uncovered that. Here we go. 8 new brutal and gory indie games. Oh boy. Let's keep going. How to look at your past streams in Twitch. Remember, he had that past stream in Twitch where she said, is it bad to for something with the rapists, with child rapists and stuff like that? Remember she said that? And he said, oh my God, we gotta shut it down, delete everything. Remember that? You guys forget that so quickly, delete everything? He wants to see, how does he uncover that history that'll be used against him? How does he delete it? Remember this one?
Delete everything. Delete everything.
Yeah. Massive super chat. We appreciate you. How we feeling, baby? With a $50 super chat says, David is cooked. You guys see me excited? You darn right he's cooked.
Oh, my God.
You darn right he's cooked. Everything about this case shows that D4VD, a.k.a. David Anthony Burke, knew what he was doing. Hunted this little girl down. Hunted her down. It's not even like he groomed her. He courted her. Like, these words can't describe exactly what David hunted this girl down on the internet. She was nothing but an 11-year-old fan of his. A young woman that had already experienced extreme trauma, grooming, and molestation from adult men before she met David. She was more vulnerable. She was as vulnerable as you could be. He saw her insecurities. He saw her unstable home life. He saw, and she probably told him about the fact that she had been with older men before, and his eyes brightened. His eyes became wide. How do I know that? Because I know these guys, because I look in these guys' eyes every single day when I go to work as an active duty special victims detective. Their eyes get wide, ladies and gentlemen, like this. And he hunted her down. He He hunted her down. He courted her. He flashed his wealth before her eyes. He flashed his celebrity before her eyes. He groomed her into an unsavory, salacious, and inappropriate and ungodly relationship, ladies and gentlemen. Celeste never had a chance. David had everything a predator could need to have in order to get his prey. Most predators, they try and sweet talk you. You know, they try to be your best friend. They try to get down on your level. Many times they're your relatives. He had everything. He had money. He had fame. He had wealth. He had everything. It was easy for him. And then he had a victim that was already traumatized in Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And clearly, in my opinion, you guys may not agree with me. Some of you may get upset with me. But in my opinion, he had a young woman whose family was not taking care of her the way they should have taken care of her. People get mad at me when I say that, but I don't care. I don't care.
Oh, hell no.
Because you can't tell me you're a loving, supportive home if an 11-year-old is out there dating a 21-year-old man, a.k.a. Gustavo. Goose or Goose. Anybody who's following the case, you know exactly who Gustavo is. We did a whole show on him, and he was the one who took her virginity. He was her first abuser. How is he, a family friend, dating her when she's 10, 11 years old and nobody knows about it? How is it when she's talking about how she lost her innocence, she talked about how she got drunk first so she could get through it? How he got mad at her that she wouldn't put out the first time that he tried to take advantage of her body. So what she did was she purposely went out there and got drunk so that she could get through it. And she talked about how she didn't bleed when it happened the first time, but she bled with David. These are the facts that we have from investigating this case on the internet. If we have these facts, only God knows what that prosecution has on David Anthony Burke. And right now, on this YouTube stream, we're over here. Big shout out to the person who posted this. That's a Mega Cutie. Big shout out to them for posting this. We're looking at David. Allegedly, we're looking at David's YouTube watch history. And he's basically everything that he did, every element of his crime we've seen so far in his watch history. What does this tell me? This tells me that David is a ritualistic person. Big shout out to How We Feeling, baby, once again for that $50 super chat. Thank you so much for your generosity. David is a ritualistic person. Let's keep going. I look crazy in this wig right now. I know we in court right now. We got to put the wig on when we in court. But I got a red shirt on. I'm like, stop World War III shirt on. I don't have no suit on, no nothing. A white wig and a red shirt. It's all good. What we do for justice. Oh, boy. Here we go. Let's get where we left off. Nuts. All right. Oh, it's hard to see here. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Stop. All right, so this is Herobrine's Terror. Stop. How do we make it stop? All right, Herobrine's Terror. David's childhood channel with a video that he had previewed before, but now in full. Channel also has a video of him playing the piano as a kid. Okay, but why would he call it Herobrine's Terror? That's interesting. I mean, it's like we got to break everything down because we know who David is now. Here's another one, says unlisted, making a song. This is David, 21,000 views. History, how to say Alyssa, how to pronounce Alyssa correctly. Research crew, what's the significance of Alyssa? Here's another search history, the unsettling psychology of covert narcissism. You know, people want to understand who they are, ladies and gentlemen. They want to understand who they are. They know that something's not right with them. They know something is wrong with them. The wig is making me sweat. It's summertime. It's hot. Sorry. We still in court, though. We still in court, ladies and gentlemen. The wig just got to come off. People understand something's wrong with them. Something's different. So they seek out this knowledge. They seek out this knowledge. Look at him searching the unsettling psychology of covert narcissism. The next search, death is way scarier than you think. On the bottom, how to be miserable for the blank. We don't see the rest of that. And why being open-minded is dangerous. Let's keep going. Psycho X voicemail. I'm sorry, this is bull. Heck. Because I meant literally nothing to you, the voicemail, spoken word poetry. Here's another search. National Missing Children Org says TikTok, Virginia, Mass. Now he's looking for information about how we deal with missing children. This person says very random out of the blue. I don't think this is random out of the blue. This is him doing oppositional research against law enforcement. What do law enforcement do with missing children? What do they say? How are they investigated? How are they reported? That's what he's doing right now. Let's keep going. In my opinion, that at least that is. History, his deluxe name. How to pronounce Marcia Sense. I don't know what that is. Let's keep going. Comparing something mods in GTA 5. I don't know what this censoring is. I have no idea. Down here is blood and gore in GTA 5 mods. So maybe it's gore that this person censored out. Why would you need to censor it? I don't know. I'm not the one who posted this. Private video of this is how it feels with the unseen photo along with it. This is a song. This picture of David. Most terrifying stuff we saw by far. This is live birth C-section surgery. What to expect during a C-section. Newborn gets gash on face from C-section scalpel. This is disgusting, horrifying things. Why would you want to see a baby get injured during a C-section? Why are you trying to research how to do a C-section as though if she was to get pregnant and she decided not, this is what I'm surmising, that he knows he probably has to have a conversation with her about an abortion. And if she didn't decide to get an abortion, which obviously she got the abortion, he would probably do what he wanted to do to her much earlier than he actually did it by actually kidnapping her and forcing her to have a C-section that most likely he would have done himself and probably killed her afterwards. Why else would David be looking up C-sections, but not just looking up the C-sections, but look up what happens when a C-section goes wrong? Who would want to see that? I'm a grown man. I've seen all manner of terrors in this world because of my profession. I would never, ever want to look up a baby being injured in a C-section. Never in a million years. Yet David is looking it up. Big shout out to Zazafraz. Says Marcescence was the album about youth flower decay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That was one of his albums. I wouldn't know because I'm not a fan of this, guys, but I appreciate you for letting us know what that meant. Definitely fills in the gaps. Let's keep going, man. And that's it. That's the last one. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So when Aisha Collins says that he's a psychopath, you know, since this case has started, there hasn't been a great many things that I agreed with Aisha Collins on. Guess what? I agree with her now on this fact. David is a psychopath. It's not something we just found out. We realized David was a psychopath when we connected the dot with MPD Psycho Detective. When we connected those dots, when we figured out that everything he did to Celeste was a part of the cookbook, was a part of the instruction manual of MPD Psycho Detective, when we figured that out, we knew at that moment David was a psychopath. He didn't get rid of her, like the prosecution said, for money. He didn't get rid of her because she was going to expose him and turn him into the Pied Piper #2. They'd have been calling him R. Kelly Jr. That's not why he got rid of her. It wasn't for the money. It wasn't for the label of being the Pied Piper #2. He got rid of her because that was his passion. He got rid of her because that was his desire. He got rid of her because that was his pleasure. The process of getting rid of Celeste Rivas Hernandez was David Anthony Burke's pleasure. He's a psychopath, and he followed the instruction manual of MPD Psycho Detective. He removed the eye, he removed the fingers, he followed the instructions, he followed the cookbook. Big shout out to the research crew for bringing our attention to this search history. It told us volumes. In the words of a rapper that I'm not really a big fan of, but hey, it is what it is. Grand opening, grand closing. Case open, case close. The question that we have is, David, do you want to go through the trial for the spectacle of being a part of a trial, or do you want to stop wasting our time, plead guilty, and go where you belong, behind bars for the rest of your life? You thought you was the smartest man in the room, but in fact, your wealth, your celebrity, it made you sloppy. You put too much breadcrumbs out here, and we're following those breadcrumbs, and those breadcrumbs are leading to that irrefutable fact that you are a murderer. Guys, hit that like button, support the channel. Appreciate you guys immensely for joining me today. You guys are the best audience on YouTube. And how do I know that? Because I share you with a lot of great YouTubers. So I thank you for your time. Please make sure you hit that like button so we can get into the algorithm and the show could be shown to a wider audience. We'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.